You're human. It's just that we weren't expecting to find life, let alone human life out here. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
Welcome back to the rest of humanity. You're no longer alone.
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana Brackenridge. This is Security Officer Ⅱ. And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
I see. As you may have presumed, we're in a bit of a bind. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by... well, we don't know. Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. Perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and... the others. Ah, your question confirms one of our recent theories. It would seem that some form of faster-than-light travel or space-bending technology was invented during our long journey. That would explain why we would find people this far out into space. I guess technology leapfrogged us at some point. Interesting. I can only imagine that our predecessors didn't believe the technology would ever work, and so they made the decision to leave when they did. Well, the short answer is, we didn't. It's a generation ship, which is to say that most of us lived long, happy lives on board and passed our mission down to our children. It was never intended that the original crew would make it to our destination. The goal was always the preservation of the human race above all else. Though, it would seem that was perhaps a bit presumptuous. We do. Well, sort of. We saw structures using our surveying equipment. We've also seen the various ships pass us by. Some even seemed to want to communicate, but couldn't. Of course, we had no idea that they were being piloted by other humans. We're not entirely sure. Our engineers believe it's possible that our technology just isn't compatible with theirs. All we hear when using them to communicate with anyone is a bunch of disturbing noise. It gave me the heebie-jeebies at first. Oh yes, of course. Where are my manners? Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. We'll speak more on the matter once we reach the bridge. Dr. DaCosta, you may return to your quarters if you wish. Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened. So, he gathered the best and brightest he could find, built the Constant, and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time. If you can believe, entire generations have been born, lived, and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
Just stay out of trouble.
We didn't believe anyone would be out here, but I'm glad for it. Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived, though not for lack of trying. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of diplomat between us and them as we attempt to resolve our situation. Does that sound agreeable to you? We know there's a settlement on the planet below, meaning people were here before us. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their claim given their presence here. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us negotiate a solution, preferably one that favors us. Yes, of course. But we need to start from a firm position and state our goal. If need be, we can compromise, work out a mutually beneficial deal or some such, but initially I'd like you to be firm with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond, and we'll go from there. We thought about it, but it simply won't do. I need to think about the distant future of our people. Sure, our first settlement may be small, but our predecessors dreamt of our new civilization spreading across the globe. That will be difficult if someone else plans to do the same. While we're not completely close to the idea of sharing, it's much easier if we have complete domain over this world. Now, it makes little sense to give up before you try. Thank you, and good luck. No matter the outcome, I won't let my crew down. Now that you're here, I can finally give my crew a chance at a new life. What's the good word? That doesn't sound so bad. My crew will need to get used to working for a living anyway. This seems agreeable. Is that all? I'm not sure what we can spare. That does seem reasonable. I try to be. Tell you what, talk to Daisuke, and he'll get you what we can spare. If you succeed, we'll see about finding some other ways to repay you as well. Thank you. Difficult is the wrong word. It can be both challenging at times and also exciting. Our mission was to rebuild humanity on a distant world, believing that we were Earth's last hope. To think that while there has always been a Brackenridge in the captain's chair, that I am the one to finally oversee our journey's end is truly exhilarating. But with this stumbling block in our path, at this final moment, I fear tough choices will need to be made. A bit frazzled, as you can imagine. People are anxious about discovering that we're not alone, and also worried about what will come to pass. While we hope we can work out a deal with the people on the surface, they seem reluctant to reach out, so there's no telling what will come of that. I do know that we can't afford to stay here in orbit forever. The ship was built to sustain us for many years with backup provisions just in case, but even that will come to an end eventually. I think I'm coming up on 6 years now? I was only a teenager when my father died, passing command of the ship to me, as is tradition. Because of that, I've had to sort of learn as I go along, instead of taking years of study and apprenticeship under the prior captain. I think some people on the ship resent me for not having the level of experience as my predecessors. But at the same time, without my command, we likely wouldn't have made it here so quickly. Until next time.
Must have taken some remarkable discipline to get you all here.
We didn't believe anyone would be out here, but I'm glad for it. Excellent. I'll have them stowed away for safekeeping. We'll bring them with us when we touch down on the surface. Is that everything now? Are we ready to head planetside? Some of us may have a little trepidation about leaving the ship, but the majority of us are excited. This has been our dream for generations. This generation was not expected to be here by now, but thanks to UA, we shaved decades off our journey. This is the chance to live on solid ground, have freedom to walk about, breathe fresh air. We've never had that experience. Oh, we're ready. Righto. Oh, this is truly wonderful. I'll make an announcement to the crew straight away. If you would be so kind, we lost our landing shuttle years ago, so we'll need a ride down to the surface. Not all of us, mind you, just myself and a select few others. Will you do this for us? Splendid. Oh, we'll see you on your ship then.
It's hot. Not in a bad way, you know.
So this is what fresh air is like. I could get used to this.
I did it! How exciting it is to be the captain who finally brought us to our new home. Just think, if you hadn't had the courage to approach us when no one else would, we might still be stuck up there. First, we need to meet with the settlement's leadership and confirm the details of our arrangement. Once we take care of that business, we'll begin the process of shuttling the rest of our people down and resettling them. I'm confident that with a few adjustments, we'll be able to assimilate into society, and once we pay off our debts, we'll travel wherever we want. Once again, thank you for your kindness and generosity. Your name will go down in our history books. You will always be welcome as a friend to our people. Thank you again for making this all possible. I'm looking forward to making this planet our new home. The possibilities are limitless. I did it! How exciting it is to be the captain who finally brought us to our new home. Oh my. Oh, it's almost too much. I've never seen such beauty, never experienced real nature. Pictures, videos, nothing does the real thing justice. I could do without some of the terms of this agreement, but if this is what it's like, I think we'll manage just fine. Thanks again. Thank you again for making this all possible. A lot remains to be seen. For now, my people still treat me as the captain, and I help them as needed. But that will only last for so long, as I no longer have authority over them. As for the ship itself, it will likely be hauled away at some point if it hasn't already. I heard rumblings it may be turned into a museum of some sort. They're adjusting to their new lives. I know it wasn't the perfect solution, but I'm confident it was the right solution. On a positive note, it's good to know that we aren't alone if something were to go wrong. And while our current accommodations may not be great, we didn't have to build everything from scratch and live like ancient humans, so that's nice. Don't forget to tell of us in your travels. You're human.